What is going on, everybody? This is Gaza back here with another Football Manager 2020 experiment video, and today this is episode 4 of the David Turnbull experiment. We have now arrived at the 1st of June 2033, 3 years after the last episode, and we're going to see what David Turnbull is doing now, if he's still a player. Hopefully he's still a player, but we'll see what he is doing right now. So he's actually an assistant manager, unemployed. As you can see, he's retired from football. He retired in 2032. It would have been 32 he would have retired, so quite a low age for a midfielder to retire, or any player to be honest. So we'll have a look at his last 2 seasons he played. So he only had 17 games, well actually, so he played 17 appearances actually, well it would have been 18 because 6 off the bench. Yes, 18 appearances overall in the 2031 season. He didn't score any goals, 4 assists and a 6.77 average rating. He's done okay there, not much game time, and then the 2031-32 season he had 23 appearances, scoring 1 goal and 2 assists with an average rating of 6.63. 29 games overall played for the club, scoring in the cup as well. Continental, he played 2 games. Did they play any continental ones previous season? No. So continental games there, and let's see if it was because of an injury or, well, we'll actually have a look at his milestones first. So from 2030, named in the Ladbrokes Premiership Team of the Week, named in the Motherwell Seasonal Best 11. 2032, named in the Ladbrokes Premiership Team of the Week, named in the Motherwell Seasonal Best 11, and then released on a free transfer at the end of his contract. It would have been. So he's not actually went into management yet. It's a shame because I thought he would have done a lot better. He made 399 appearances and scored 30 goals for Motherwell in his career, and as you can see it down there, he had an average rating of 6.73 throughout his career, 56 assists and 5 Player of the Matches awards given to David Turnbull. So he's really favourite club's Motherwell supporter, so he's Motherwell supporter. He was born in Kilty, Scotland. I think he was spoken English fluent. So in this experiment where we started him off at Motherwell, he stayed at the club his full career. So let's have a look at how Motherwell done over the last 3 seasons. Obviously even the season after he retired. So they finished 4th and qualified for the Europa Conference League. 62 points they were on, had another really good season. So 31 season, another decent finish, one of their highest finish since 2024-25 season, when they also finished 4th. And they've really done well. 18 wins there. Had a great season. So the 2031-32 season, they finished in 5th position in the league and on 52 points. So another decent season. Didn't qualify for Europe, but they done really well in trying to, establishing themselves now in the top 6. Really decent finish. unfortunately no European football, and the season just finished, the 2032-33 season, again another 5th place finish, so they are really starting to be a top 6 side constantly now. As we can have a quick look at the managers that David Turnbull would have been managed under. So we'll go back. So he's been managed under obviously Stephen Robinson, obviously in real life as well. Maurice Ross was the caretaker boss before they looked for a new manager, and under him. So Derek McInnes was the first manager, proper manager, and I'll actually just hide caretakers so you can see. So Stephen Robinson, of course, first manager there. He would have been managed under for 3 years. Then Derek McInnes, on 157 days he was managed under before he got the sack. Chris Hughton came in and then took over. Nearly 2 years under Chris Hughton, almost 2 years, about a week, I think about a week and a half, nearly it would have been 2 years. Then John Daly came in and he was only there for 140 days. Then Carol Robinson came into the club for 306 days before being sacked. James McPake was the next manager to come in and was there for almost 2 years, and probably enjoyed a decent spell under him, because I think that at that time in his mid-20s he had a couple of good seasons. To be honest, all his seasons were good, but then this Dan Petrescu or something, I probably butchered that name, but he was there for 2 years, 211 days before being sacked. So getting plenty of sort of game time. Then this Vijaka or something, I've definitely butchered that name, was there for 1 year and 100 days before being sacked. Another manager under David Turnbull. Then Danny Welbeck was the manager between 2030 and 2032 for 1 year and 349 days before being sacked, as we obviously knew in the last experiment. And then Adam Smith took over and has been the manager for 1 year and 90 days. Who is he previously managed and played for? So he managed, I was calling Motherwell, but he's managed Hibs, Dundee, Queen of the South, and he finished his playing career in 2025 at Bournemouth after joining Bournemouth in 2014. So had played in the Premier League. He's had 2 spells at Bournemouth. So his full playing career, he was at Tottenham, Wycombe, Torquay. So pretty much he's been loaned out to these clubs: MK Dons, Leeds, Millwall, and then joined Bournemouth, and then just played the rest of his playing career there. So transfer. Let's have a wee look at the transfer history of what Motherwell have done and how much they've actually spent. So didn't spend any of that. It was a free transfer. And just a couple of loans going out. Sherwin Seedorf again, Christian Illich and Christy Manzinga leaving the club to Union SG. The 2020-21 season, 350k was spent and 2.8 million on players being transferred out of the club. Liam Polworth going to Hibs for 1.8 million. Liam Doyle gone for 275k. Tony Watt went to Livingston for 130k. Trevor Carson also going to Hibs for 61k. So yeah, there's a lot of players that went out of the club in season 2. Season 3, the 2021-22 season, only 300k spent in this team, but 7 mil being spent, not and it being received from transfers going out of the club. David Devine going to Rangers. Is he still playing? Yes, he's at Partick Thistle, 31 years of age. He was at Dundee United actually after he went to Rangers, and not too much. Mostly free transfers. So then 2022-23 season, 650k was spent at Motherwell. Adam Devine in a free transfer from Rangers, that was, and you can see the highest paid fee was this guy Luke McCowan from St Mirren, and then 900k was received into the club, one of the lower ones actually. I don't really. Lee Irvin, when did he come back to Motherwell? 2020. He rejoined the club. He's a chief scout now. 2020. 2 seconds to have a wee look. There it was. He came in for Ross County for 195k. Didn't even know that they re-signed him in this save. So the 2023-24 season, 1.8 mil was spent going out of the club. Well, received. Boyermoor from Rangers, 500k, and then a record fee of 1.3 mil. Macaulay Bowen coming. Macaulay Bowen coming over from Hearts for 1.3 mil, and 700k was spent on players coming into the club. Greg Docherty for 325k was the dearest they paid in that one. In that time, that was in the January window. The 2024-25 season, only 140k was spent that time, and 70k was just only received because they only sold 2 players and then 2 out in loan as well. So the 2025-26 season, 2.8 million was spent in the transfer window and received £3.5 million in transfers going out of the club. So as you can see, this boy here, Lewis Appery, or whatever, I butchered that name as well, from Aberdeen for 2.2 million going in the club, breaking a transfer record fee again for Motherwell. He's available on a free transfer. He had joined Queen of the South after Motherwell. He only made 78 games, by the way, for Motherwell in his 5-year spell. We'll see how much Queen of the South actually paid for him. So Callum Ogilvie going to Tottenham under 18s for 3.4 million. 8 million was a potential cost with add-ons, and cost so far 8 million. So another great transfer there. So the 2026-27 season, 3 million was spent and received 3.8 million of transfers going out of the club. So 1.2 million for Reece Lyon from Dundee. Yeah, that's probably the biggest transfer. And let's see, who did they get? 2.5 million for Steve McAvey going to Celtic reserves. Yeah, making some good money there. Then the 2027-28 season, 1.2 million was spent on this boy here, Cole McKinnon from Rangers, transferring to Motherwell, and a whopping £6.25 million was received for transfers going out of the club. Let's see who are the dearest players to go out. So the 3 players that were sort of hitting £1 million was Mackenzie's settle going to Rangers for 1.9 million. Reece Lyon going to Aberdeen for 1.6 million. And then this boy add-ons make it up to £1 million was Stephen Kelly to Hibs for, well, it was 825k, but a £1 million add-on onto it. So some decent transfer business done there. The next season, the 2028-29 season, a total of 1.8 million was spent in the club. Quite free transfers coming in. Was that him? It went. Was it the club before or whatever that happened? No. So Aaron Hickey was signed for Motherwell from Kilmarnock for 925k, but add-ons make it up to 1.1 million. So that was the dearest transfer business they actually done at the club. Then 6 million was received for transfers going out of the club. Let's see how that came about. So really, it made up with a lot of these transfers, but Greg Reid was the highest one received in that window of 1.1 million, made up to 1.4. So the 2029-30 season, a total of 1.2 million was spent at the club, with 400k being the highest they paid for a player, Cammy Duff from Hearts. Then it was for this money received for transfers going out of the club was 525k, and the highest they received was this guy, Jack Madeline, to Hearts for 210k. The 2030-31 season, £2.8 million was spent in the transfer window, and that was this boy here, Ian Lima, even coming in from Tottenham for £1.5 million was the highest paid transfer. So then total money received for transfers going out of the club in 2030-31 season was 4.4 million, and it was this boy here, Graham. It's a bit of a weird regen name. Graham. Left to go to Kilmarnock for £3 million, but would work out at 3.7 mil. I think that was probably so far the dearest transfer fee we've seen of 3.7 mil. I think it was 3.4 was in the one, and not really too much after that. But then the 2031-32 season was only 31k was spent, and it was on Craig Hutchison from Ross County for 27k, works out with the add-on 63k. So players going out of the club, £1.5 million, and that was the highest fee received was Cole McKinnon to Hibernian for 1.1 million, and will work out at 1.3 mil with the add-ons. So 2032-33 season, the season that's just finished, players going into the club, 925k was spent, and the highest received fee, paid fee, was 600k for Blair MacArthur from Queen of the South, and just £1 million getting received for transfers going out of the club, which 850k from Rangers, but works out at £1 million in add-ons and things. So that is really just that's really it for the experiment of David Turnbull at Motherwell, because he's now retired, as you've seen. We'll just pull him up again. So actually everything to show you, he's an assistant manager now, unemployed, but we'll, in the next episode, episode 5, will be the start of the new experiment with David Turnbull, where he will start him at Celtic this time. We'll use the in-game editor to transfer him over, move him for like 3.25 million, which he was worth. So I hope you're enjoying this series, and I hope you've enjoyed my last series, the father and son experiment. So remember to comment, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I will be back with another David Turnbull experiment very soon, and I'm signing out now.